Terror strikes. Europe will tell you what happened and who has claimed responsibility for the attacks coming up tonight on News Channel 12, live at 6.
And also, thousands of rape kits are going untested in Kentucky. See what lawmakers are doing about it next.
With sunshine, great temperatures, and all-out Academy Award-winning conditions, it made for a great day to get outdoors. We'll track the weather and all of its glory in a few minutes.
This is News Channel 12, live at 6, where commitment makes the difference.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us here on News Channel 12, live at 6. I'm Tyler Poe.
And I'm Hattie Baji. Terror struck throughout Europe as 3 explosions ripped through the capital of Belgium this morning, causing over 30 casualties and approximately 250 injuries. 2 blasts hit the airport an hour later, another blast at a subway station. The attack at the airport was reportedly accompanied by shouts in Arabic and gunfire. While Belgian authorities are calling the attacks suicide bombings, ISIS is claiming responsibility for the attacks. Belgian police released a photo of a person in interest of the terror attacks.
Stand in solidarity with them in condemning these outrageous attacks against innocent people. We will do whatever is necessary to support our friend and ally Belgium.
We will continue to bring the latest on the terrorist attacks in Brussels. Head over to newschannel12live.com for all the updates.
The attacks in Brussels have officials stepping up security here in the United States. Port Authority police force in New York and New Jersey are continuing to monitor major airports. Port officials say the police force have added high-visibility anti-terrorist patrols to the PATH subway system, as well as the World Trade Center. Authorities say there have been no indications of specific threats against the United States. A new bill is emerging that would stop the backlogging of rape kits in the state of Kentucky. Reporter Kayla Poe gives us the details on why the bill was created. Kayla?
Thanks, Tyler. According to the Joyful Heart Foundation, over 3,000 untested rape kits are still in the forensics labs across the state of Kentucky. Fortunately, a new bill could be the solution to the problem. 63, a very familiar number to the Bowling Green Police Department. Last year, the police department had 63 untested rape kits in their forensics lab, while the Warren County Sheriff's Office had 6.
I think that's really crazy and inconsiderate. Like, there's kids out here that could have some type of sexually transmitted disease. Mentally, they're not going to be okay. So I feel as though that, and no one knows about it, so that gives the predator the chance to come back and do it again.
State did not want any of those rape kits that were had a known suspect or had another sort of a caveat to their case that we knew who the person was, or that the victim wasn't going to be pressing charges.
Fortunately, a bill has recently passed that would crack down on the processing time of rape kits. Senate Bill 63 will cut rape kit processing time in half.
The next day, we had all those extra kits all together, and we drove them over to the lab.
Although the bill has a few questions of its own, such as will it reverse the problem rather than solve it?
It probably did create a little bit of a jam, but they were already in the mode of processing those and faster, and applying more resources towards those to get them processed faster. So it probably didn't backlog them.
The next step, the proposal will go to the House of Representatives where they will vote on the proposed bill. Tyler?
The Kentucky House of Representatives has passed their version of the 2016 through 2018 budget. The House proposed removing both the 4.5% current year cuts as well as the 9% recurring cuts to universities. The House also eliminated the governor's proposal to redistribute 1/3 of university-based operating funds. In an email from President Ransdell, he says it's important to remember this is only the second step in the process, and the budget now goes to the Senate. Ransdell went on to say he appreciates the support and encouragement he's received from WKU.
Fellas, I'm enjoying the spring heat. Let me tell you, I love my spring clothing.
I mean, I've even gotten a chance to get out there, play some soccer, just get outside and enjoy it.
I have to say, this weather has been absolutely phenomenal. Walking up the hill this morning was great because I actually wanted to, because it felt amazing outside, and it still feels amazing out there. PFT cam shows exactly what I'm talking about with the amazing weather. Lots of sunshine out there. In fact, we have dealt with even more in the way of sunshine coming up tomorrow. In fact, it's even warm. It's been windy. It has been windy, so you've got to be careful out there. A bad hair day for a lot of people with the wind. But PFT cam still shows all the sunshine, and the radar even shows the high pressure that we had overhead today with lots of sunshine out there. We do now have some high clouds starting to filter in from the north and west, and that means we have a gorgeous sunset alert. You get a lot of the high clouds out there with the setting sun. That's when you get those pinks, those lots of people take pictures with high clouds and a sunset. So it's going to be pretty nice. Coming up later on in the show, though, we will talk about more of the warm weather that we do have out there, and then the rain chances will go ahead and even peak at your Easter forecast.
We all know the emotional toll March Madness can take, but March Madness can also take another toll. Reporter Carrie Blanton brings us how March Madness takes an economic toll on the community.
August, no, tip.
It's a familiar sound every March, especially around Kentucky. However, this madness ended before March did this year for many disappointed basketball fans. They quickly lost interest in even seeing who would be crowned the men's NCAA tournament champion. WKU failed to win the Conference USA tournament, leaving them out of the big dance. Louisville didn't play a single postseason game due to their self-imposed sanctions.
So you're not planning on watching the rest of it?
Just because Louisville's not in it.
And UK won the SEC tournament, getting a lot of hopes up in the Bluegrass for a run for the championship.
I mean, after UK lost, I just didn't care anymore.
Not only were fans disappointed, but local businesses in and around Bowling Green, Kentucky, like Overtime, were also feeling the pain.
We still have a lot of fans from the West, from Kansas, a lot of fans from North Carolina. But, I mean, don't mistake, it has taken a slight impact on our revenue.
Impacts on revenue aren't just limited to the restaurant industry.
We had more inventory than what we normally would have. We were anticipating large traffic flow for the rest of the week, and this week it didn't turn out that way.
College athletic apparel stores across the area are noticing a drop in sales following the elimination of the last remaining Kentucky team from the tournament, but it won't keep them down for long.
We're going to have a really good summer. We're already working on football.
Reporting for News Channel 12, I'm Carrie Blanton.
The owner of Overtime Sports Bar said the overall turnout this year for the NCAA tournament is down from just 1 year ago. Coming up on News Channel 12 live at 6, students on campus are spreading the word to end the word with an on-campus organization.
And an ongoing the Hill may have some international students under more stress. We'll tell you what the issue is coming up next.
Since March 21st is National Down Syndrome Day, I went out to discover the true meaning of the Best Buddies program here on the Hill.
Reliable. Radiant. Think of positive things, and if you build people up.
The Best Buddies program at Western Kentucky University is spreading the word to end the word, removing the R word from your vocabulary, giving young adults with disabilities a college experience.
With the Best Buddies program, she's been able to actually do some college-related things.
Faculty, facilitator, and parent says why it's important to be on campus.
I'm very happy to know that we could build something at our university that would support people like my child even.
Lisa says it's important to have her son involved.
And he can be a part of his community and that he can have friendships, true friendships.
Lisa never expected to have a child in the Best Buddies program.
Found out he was breech, but other than that, I had no indication whatsoever that he was going to have a disability.
Lisa says why it's important for Best Buddies to be on campus.
He does a lot of good things for him. They're big buddies now.
From big buddies to best buddies, making a way for young adults like Ben to show the world that they are radiant, remarkable, and rememberable. Reporting for News Channel 12, I am Morgan Vickers. For more information about spreading the word to end the word, visit www.word.org and follow Best Buddies on Facebook.
The Kentucky Senate is passing a bill that could potentially restore some convicts' voting rights. Convicted felons aren't allowed to vote in Kentucky. However, voters now have the opportunity to amend the state's constitution so the law can be reversed. Senate President Robert Stivers isn't opposed to the bill, but he believes that the law should choose which convicts are allowed to vote again. The bill is now in the hands of the House of Representatives.
The numbers of scams have gradually grown nationwide. Instead of showing up as unknown numbers, scammers are now using different tricks. By blocking their own numbers and pretending to be government officials, scammers are making the calls more believable. Callers are asking students to pay for their international education tax over the phone. Students should be suspicious of everything they receive unsolicited and never give out their information.
Coming up after the break, Chris Reese joins us with an in-depth look at our weather. While Western Kentucky may be the only university with a floral design shop in the state, WKU students aren't the only students in the area creating beautiful flower arrangements. Reporter Amanda Johnson caught up with a full-time college student and a full-time florist with an unusual eye for design.
Flowers come in many shapes and sizes, and it turns out florists, just like the flowers they use, come in all shapes and sizes, and ages too.
I've been doing flowers since I was 6 or 7 years old, but having my own business going on 4 years now.
Although owning a business for 4 years might sound normal, Jack Gupton is only 20 years old, meaning he began his business at the age of 16.
Well, my parents said I either needed to get a job or find some other way to save up money, so I started my own business.
Gupton now designs hundreds of arrangements and other pieces, decorates windows in his shop, and manages 7 employees. Some of his employees even see his age as a positive part of their daily job.
It's like another friend. Jack makes everything fun.
But Gupton's age isn't the only thing that makes him special in the florist community.
Most generally, I usually have to have somebody here to help me do match colors and pick out certain colors and shades, but I can see some colors, but a lot of colors look the same, and a lot of colors that I see, most people don't see the same way I do.
Although Gupton is colorblind, he sees the opportunity to create some extraordinary products.
It makes for some unique designs if you leave me alone for a while, but I think that's why people like it so well here, because they know that we're not a cookie cutter florist by no means. We do different things, and we like showcasing talent here.
Despite challenges, Gupton is looking forward to the upcoming spring season and is optimistic his business will be in full bloom. For News Channel 12, I'm Amanda Johnson.
You know, Hattie, I bet those flower arrangements that he makes are even prettier now that the Easter flowers are in bloom and it's officially spring.
Yeah, his attention to detail is absolutely amazing. If I had that, I wouldn't give up at all.
And, you know, with that, we're going to head over to Storm Center 12, meteorologist Chris Reese. Chris, how's the weather looking for us?
Tyler, the weather is absolutely amazing. It has been a gorgeous day and a great day to go outside and enjoy it, whether it was going for a run or just soaking up some of the rays out there. All in all, I am very, very happy with this day, and a lot of you all are too, with lots of the sunshine that we have had. In fact, now a lot of us are going to get the cherry on top of the ice cream as high clouds are beginning to filter in. That's going to make for a gorgeous sunset once that sun begins to go down. So all in all, we can't complain about today. In fact, what was even really exciting was how much warmer we were today than we were this time yesterday. 11 degrees warmer in Nashville, 14 degrees warmer in Louisville. Check out Pittsburgh, 19 degrees warmer this time today than we were yesterday. Now, bringing temperatures closer to home, we are generally in the 60s across the board. 63 in Lexington, 63 in Cincinnati as well. London, and a cool 66 degrees as well in the west. We're still all across the 60s for most of us. We're at 67 here in Bowling Green, and the sunshine is doing its thing right across the Alumni Center as it begins to set out there. The air is also pretty dry, so all in all, it feels very comfortable. Now, would you believe me if I told you we had some changes coming up in our forecast? Well, you live in Kentucky, and the weather changes pretty much every 5 minutes. So let's go ahead and change tunes and talk about the changes that we do have coming up for us. We've got winter storm warnings across the southern plains and towards the Great Lakes region, as well as flood warnings to our south. Then we get you towards the southeast Rockies, and we have high wind warnings. That is because we have another system that's going to impact our weather, especially as we go into your day on Thursday. Here's the system beginning to pick up some steam. You've got your cloud cover across the Midwest and your snow across southern Canada, and all of this is going to spawn some rain as it begins to move into our area. So here's the reason for the nice weather. This high pressure is going to slide to the south, and once it does so, we're going to have a low that approaches from the west, and that's going to bring in the moisture and the southerly wind flow. So while we warm up, we get in on the rain chance, especially through the day on Thursday. And then as this goes on to the east, that's when temperatures are going to drop and things get colder. Thankfully, we're going to keep that snow to the north. Now tonight we're dealing with mostly clear skies and temperatures in the upper 40s. Still pretty windy out there with those wind gusts around 25 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 70 degrees. Once again, another great day, even windier than we were today with those gusts greater than 30 miles per hour. Wednesday is going to be a great day, but then by Thursday, we have your rain. You might get some thunder in as well. Friday and Saturday look great before Easter Sunday brings in another rain chance. We still have a couple days to track that, so stay tuned, and we'll give you the latest. Back to Tyler.
After the break, Hannah Sells joins us with the preview of sports. Welcome back. We're going to head on over to Diddle Arena to Paige Hagan to give us an update on the WKU men's basketball team. Paige.
Good evening, Paige Hagan here live at a quiet EA Diddle Arena, where you can see right behind me are the doors that lead to now former WKU men's basketball head coach Ray Harper, following his shocking resignation announcement last Thursday, along with WKU's announcement to suspend 3 guards on the roster. Now it's searching time for WKU head coach Ray Harper and athletic director Todd Stewart to search for a new leader for this men's basketball program, a very historic program, in fact, here on the Hill. And athletic director Todd Stewart told me yesterday that he is traveling all this week to find a new head coach and kick off that search process. Ray Harper's office as of today is cleared out, that we know, and it's going to be a long process to find a new head coach. Live in EA Diddle Arena, Paige Hagan, News Channel 12.
Thanks for that report, Paige. And continuing our discussion about the hardwood, last night the Lady Toppers started from the bottom, but now they're here with a dub. UT Martin had WKU trailing behind in the first half and then ended up outscoring the Tops at the beginning of the second half. But with about 7 minutes left in the game, the Hilltoppers had regained their momentum, and the score was 33-32, with the Skyhawks having the 1-point lead. WKU went on to steal the lead and the win, 64-57. The WKU football team started their post-Brandon Dowdy era as they opened up their spring football practice yesterday. It was the first of 15 scheduled practices for the Tops, who have some big shoes to fill this year, since a number of positions have been vacated. Of the 32 players who saw at least 3 games of action in 2015, 21 of them are returning. According to Coach Brom, it's important that the guys step up, get out of their comfort zones, and take charge of the team. The WKU baseball team hit the dirt this weekend, opening their CUSA season with a doubleheader. The Tops battled in Norfolk, Virginia against Old Dominion Friday and Saturday. The men batted around but came up short, losing all 3 games with a combined total score of 24-13. Up to the plate right now for the Hilltoppers is their game against Austin Peay at Nick Dennis Field. The score is still knotted at 0 in the bottom of the first inning. Staying on the field, but with the ladies, the WKU softball team also opened up their CUSA season, but with 2 doubleheaders. The Tops swept the FIU Panthers Saturday, winning 2 games, but Sunday was a tougher battle for the ladies as they fell to the Panthers 16-7. The Hilltoppers return to the field this weekend and continue conference play, hosting 3 games against North Texas. And before I send it back to the desk, if you're looking for something nice to do outside tomorrow, since Chris said it was great weather, you should swing by the tennis courts to watch the Lady Tops volley with Arkansas State. That's all for sports right now, but be sure to join Paige Hagan and Karen Eisert Thursday at 6 as they rally around for sports for 30 minutes. Back to you all at the desk.
An international day to be happy. We'll tell you what that's all about coming up on News Channel 12 live at 6.
And also, Chris Reese joins us for a last look at our weather after the break.
Post-spring break blues and a stressful semester has a lot of students in a rut, but there may be a reason for you to be a little happier today. As the last 2 months of school wind down, seniors scratching their heads over post-grad plans and everyone else trying to survive another year, things look pretty sad for college students. Literally. The American Psychological Association's most recent study says 54% of college students are suffering from anxiety and 32% depression. But today, health professionals are prescribing a simple remedy for students, a dose of happy on National Happy Day, founded by this guy, Dr. Dell Anderson, in 2005. Western Kentucky University counselor Benjamin Robey says happiness starts in the mind.
What you do physically can influence the way you feel. So you get happy because you smile. And so if you just sort of walk around trying to look happy, it can actually have that effect back on you.
For some people, a bite of comfort food does the trick.
When I'm in a really sucky mood, I like to eat a lot of Snickers. Okay, just one, but I really love Snickers.
There's also other things we can do to make ourselves more happy. Read a good book. Getting a little bit of musical healing. No matter what or who makes you happy, enjoy it all on this happy holiday.
That's all the time we have tonight. Thanks for making News Channel 12 your source for news.
Have a good night.